SPD 911 isn't just a show, it's your emergency response team for sterile processing. Having a diverse organization, people make the mistake in trying to make everyone the same.
SPD911, we stand
Yeah, you're asking for a pay raise every year.
Heard the stories, seen the tears, raw and real, we face the fight, supporting each other, night and daylight.
What is going on, people? We are officially in our second season. I'm your host, Dr. Jake Taylor Jacobs, President and COO of SIPS Healthcare. And this show is all about tracking the toughest challenges in sterile processing. Whether you're on the front lines or making high-level decisions, we are here to equip you with the real solutions to rescue and elevate your department. On each episode, I'm typically joined by two of our field executives. We have the Director of Clinical Compliance, Sharon Green Golden, our leader in compliance and regulatory standards. And who is not here with us is our Director of Clinical Operations, Derek Jones, who's a specialist in operational efficiency and team development. This isn't just a show. This is your emergency response team. And let me tell you something. This season, we have some amazing stuff in place. I know we've been trying to get back, but Sharon Green Golden, you've been on the move. You know this show is all about you. Let everybody know, what have you been up to? Going to Ghana? You getting ready to go to Hong Kong? Girl, tell us the tea.
Listen, I have been out there preaching, teaching compliance within our standards, what's best for patients. I had the opportunity to go to Ghana. I signed myself up to go to Ghana and do a mission. And it was an 8-day mission in Ghana, Dr. Jake. I asked the people to send me pictures of the hospital, and they wouldn't send me the SPD pictures. So I knew I was walking into a war.
Oh, goodness.
And I walked into a war. We had no decontam, barely had a place to sterilize. And, it takes time to actually get yourself together. We had to buy tables, basins. We had to make a decontam area. We had to clear out where the vertical pressure sterilizers were. But I want you to know one thing. What? As a representative of SIPS Healthcare Solutions on my end, we were compliant. We were able to do something called every load monitoring. So every load that we sterilized, we were able to verify that the standards, the parameters have been met for sterilization out there in what I call the jungle. So I'm like, yes.
Man, I'm so excited. I'm always so elated, SGG, to be able to sit and bask in your wisdom and all the things, the isms that you bring. I feel like I've been able to receive a crash course, master's degree, with just all the experiences that you've been able to have. So I'm excited. You're going to Hong Kong too, ain't you?
Yes. So Hong Kong is the world meeting. It's more scientific. I was thinking about that. It is a scientific meeting where the people are so deep sometimes.
Right.
But I've been granted, I was asked to come and present every load monitoring for Solventum at their reception. So I'm going to be speaking one afternoon at the world meeting this year. I'm just excited about that.
Oh my goodness. So if some of you all are new to the show, SPD 911 was created when we had so many sterile processing technicians asking for what to do and how to solve things and needed answers for their own careers, for what's going on in their departments. And so this next season, I'm extremely excited because we have some creative ways that we're going to be bringing SPD 911 to you in a lot of different areas. But before we get started in this first episode of season 2, SGG, kind of give us what has been your experience on the consulting side versus the day-to-day? Like, what has been the biggest challenges that you've been able to face in that transition? This is your spotlight. Talk about it, girl.
Listen, I'm gonna put it out there. If you all call us in to come and help you do an assessment, understand, I am coming with the standards. I'm not coming to sugarcoat nothing.
That's right.
But I am learning. I'm learning. You know, I'm still trainable. I have found it 69 and a half. I can still learn. I got to be a little more calmer, a little sweeter, put the message out a little differently, but getting people to understand that the standards never change.
That's right.
You can't change the standard. You can't wake up one morning and say, I decided that this is how we're going to do it. That's not how it works. You have to make sure that what you're doing is compliant to rules and regulations and best practice standards in the United States, because what you do matters, and you have the ability to compromise a patient's surgery. Therefore, I am learning as a consultant that consulting, getting with somebody and saying, oh, this is wrong is one thing. Being able to put it down to paper to where the meaning is there, but you don't want to kill anybody. You want to give them, this is what you did. This is how you should do it or could do it within the standards. And so out here consulting, I'm learning to get my message across a lot softer, because, you know, I'm like a revivalist at the church. I come in and say, you're going to hell. And move on.
That's probably the best example. You're more of an evangelist than you say. It's the pastor's job to clean that up. I'm coming in here to kill, steal, and destroy the enemy. I'm taking back what is ours. I do appreciate that about you. And so in the spirit of the show, you know, we always have scenarios of people's concerns that's within our group. And if you're looking at the show right now, you want to be able to ask Sharon Green Golden specific questions regarding your situation. And of course, it'll be confidential. You can go to SPD911.com and join our community within our Executive Edge community, so that you can be able to ask Sharon Green Golden and our team specific questions that we can bring to the show. So here's a scenario that we have, SGG. There's a seasoned tech with 7 years of experience, and they've been encouraged to apply for a supervisor role, but they feel stuck. They see younger techs getting promoted because of certifications, while they feel like their expertise continues to be overlooked. So the younger folk are getting this certification, but they feel like, hey, I have the expertise and the years of experience to be able to back what I can bring for the position. So they're kind of debating right now between going ahead and getting their CHL credentials or investing in a degree, or just rely on their track record to be able to get on the promotional track. What are your thoughts of what they should kind of focus on?
I think that first they have to decide what it is they want.
All right.
You know, somebody can come to you and say, you know, Sharon, I think you'd make a good supervisor. Is that what you want to do? Was that ever in your wheelhouse? Don't let anybody push you to something you're not interested in. Once you determine what it is you want, and you've been there for 7 years, and you have 7 years of actual hands-on experience, you've been through the trenches, and you know, and you're up against what I call my newbies who come in with 2 days knowledge and they're ready to be the boss. You have to have laid some groundwork. And what happens is that sometimes we sit back and we don't lay the groundwork for being a supervisor. These young folks come in with the takeover spirit. They learn how to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're ready to write on the board and start teaching. You've been there just working, you're a worker bee, but you've never excelled in letting anybody know that you wanted the opportunity to lead. You haven't taken on any responsibilities. You never volunteer for anything extra. When you know, you never are willing to share your knowledge. You never come in and say, hey, could you let me do a CE credit this month? Could you let me teach the team how to correctly clean instruments under the water. You have to put yourself out there. You know, some of us have that exuberant personality where we just stand out. I come into a room and I'm just there. Nobody has the wonder to share and show up because I showed up and I'm showing out. And I'm willing to share my expertise. If you're one of those that are a little bit more laid back, more of an introvert, then you have to start working, not just when they call you to say, we want you to sign up to be a leader. You have to say, hey, I am going to continuously develop my relevant skills. You
That's
see,
right.
Dr. Jake, when I started, there was no class. There was no management classes for SPD. They throw us out there in the water and you sink or swim. I didn't have a mentor. Didn't know what mentor was. I was busy putting trades together. But the one thing I knew was that I always wanted to learn more.
Right.
And I was willing to put myself and my money out there to help me be better. Now, let me just say, you have to be willing to share the responsibility of making yourself who you are. You cannot just depend on the business to make you. I've been here 7 years working. They hadn't picked me to be the supervisor. You haven't gone to not one local meeting. You never come back with your process magazine and share anything you read. You just keep it working. Anything you learn, you keep it to yourself. So I say at this point, know what it is you want to do. Decide if you really want to lead, because leading is not easy. You know, if you've been happy walking behind the leader, it's not easy to become the person in the front. I did a little bit of time, Army little reserves before they wouldn't let me in due to my lupus. And I was bringing up the rear, Dr. Jake, and I'm nosy. And as I was bringing up the rear out there in the woods, I was looking for bugs and turkeys and deer and maybe some people to kill us along the way. And I stopped along the way as the troops were moving in. I saw a head bobbing up and down. And I stopped. And my leader came back to the rear and said, Green, what are you doing? And I said, stand right here, because over there in the bushes, every once in a while, a head pops up. He said, a head pops up. I said, yes. And so we stood there and the person's head popped up. They went back down. And so he called our little troops back, and we got together and we ambushed them, because now we knew where they were. They were supposed to be ambushing us.
Right.
At that point, because I was nosy, I got promoted to lead. Well, let me say, when you're the lead, you get shot first. I'm just saying. So you have to decide if that's the position you want. In the back, I might have had an opportunity to save my life, but in the front, they're going to pick me off first. But because I was nosy and had that disposition and found the other troops, he knew I was paying attention. Green, you got the front. And so if you want to be a leader, be sure that's what you want to be.
Oh my gosh. A perfect way to bring. You want to lead, you're going to be shot first, honey. I know that's right. And I want to add to that. And you said everything so beautifully. There are two things that people fail to realize. That in leadership, you often do things that you are not getting paid to do.
Yes.
And it'll behoove anyone interested in true leadership roles and responsibilities to take the position, the roles, and the opportunities before you ask for money, raises, or promotion, for a position.
Yes.
Because your ability has to be observed before it is praised. I can't praise you for something I haven't seen with my own eyes and your ability to do. And there are so many people that get so frustrated about not being seen, not being promoted, and honestly being let go, when in actuality, they were waiting to be paid before they shown that they can do the job. And so in leadership, what a lot of leaders are looking for is one, stick it to itiveness, like just sticking to it, and two, being proactive when you see a problem, not waiting until they promote you to solve it, but solving it and being so good at solving it that they can't imagine anyone else to be in the role.
Yes.
That's the key of being able to do that. And that's what the thing that, made me think about as you were talking, how so many people are waiting for someone else to elevate you, waiting for someone else to celebrate you, waiting for somebody else to motivate you and promote you to where you want to be. But in this world that we live in, you have to be your own promotion. You have to
Right.
be your own motivation. So you have to put yourself in those positions to be a help so that people can see just how beneficial you are to the organization.
You're right. And that is one of the problems, Dr. Jake, that is prevalent for some reason in sterile processing. We always talk money first. Are they going to pay me? Because, you asked them, would you go to a local meeting? Are y'all going to pay me? Well, no, you're going to the local meeting to enhance your educational knowledge and to help you to bring something back. And I don't know, it seems to be across the board. I mean, I've been to SPDs all over the United States, and everybody speaks the same language. When you ask them to do anything extra, is how much am I getting paid? And I will say that, we are products of our environment, and my father brought us up to be helpful.
That's right.
Because you want to be helpful.
That's right.
And then the rewards will come.
That's right.
And so in sterile processing, especially at a time, it has evolved now when we were barely getting paid. And just because I decided we needed to have our recipes on a separate piece of paper, I took the initiative and did that and said, wouldn't it be better if everybody had their own piece of paper to work off of instead of we all trying to look at the same book?
That's right.
And then I went to the little computer and made it happen. And all the little things that I did that people thought wasn't much, I'd come back from a meeting and say, you know what? They say we should always wash our hands, take your gloves off every hour and wash your hands. I'm just sharing what I learned. The fact that I was willing to share made me who I am, number one, and it ingratiated me to leadership, because they said there's one person down there that isn't just putting trays together. That person brings back information. She's willing to share, and she goes to meetings whether we pay for it or not.
Man.
Because Dr. J, knowledge is power. And once you learn something, they can't take it back from you.
Ooh. No, SGG, you're right on the money, because it's the value that pays you, not the position.
Yes.
And when we think about that, when I'm as you were talking, I'm thinking about every opportunity that I had. Every opportunity that I received in my life has been because I said yes before a paycheck came.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, to your point, if I can prove this knowledge, whether you pay me or not, you can't take what I've learned. You can't take the experience I've been a part of. You can't take any of this from me. So if I take it to another place, that next place will pay me for what I observed and learned over here, what you wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I think that's the dichotomy, and it's not just SPD, SGG. It's in every industry. You have so many people that come into the organization, or that come into different organizations, that they see an opportunity and they want the promotion, they want the salary, they want the money, but they don't want to show anything or give anything prior to, especially when you don't have an immense track record of success at doing something. Yeah.
Right. And experience counts for a lot. People don't understand. It's not always what you read in the book.
That's right.
How well you did on the certification exam. I don't want a lawyer who just passed the bar.
That's right.
I want a lawyer with some experience for my case. I mean, I'm glad you passed the bar last week, but I don't need you this week on my case. Maybe you can be third chair. I want the people that have done this before. And I keep trying to share with SPD technicians that allow me to help mentor them that Experience comes with time, young people. Time. You don't get experience overnight. It's time and doing things. You have to do some things. I can read about it, but until I went and burned my arm on the autoclave door, now I realize what they meant when they said,
It's
"Open the
hot.
door and step back." See, experience.
Yeah. Yeah. That actually takes me to SGG. We had a scenario when actually a young lady was asking, they just actually been asked to be a part of, a couple of interested prospects for a management interview.
Mhm.
And she was saying that she feels very confident in her technical skills, but she knows that the management interview, they're going to be asking management questions. As you know,
Mhm.
as your level elevates, the questions change.
Right.
And she was asking, what is the best way to prepare for a management interview in SPD?
So SPD may be a little bit different, but management is management. Are you able to manage yourself? Do
That's
you
right.
show up on time? See, you won't be able to manage the team when you're late every day. So the questions that come out are usually people questions with scenarios of what would you do with a employee that is late all the time? How would you handle that? So you have to be able to talk about it and
That's
say, well, according to now there's rules and standards for HR, but as a human being, the first time I'm going to bring you to the side, I'm going to talk about, do you realize what our policy is for coming to work? Are you aware of what time your shift starts? Because maybe they didn't know. They just thought they come when they get ready. You have to be able to answer those questions. What would you do if there's a conflict going on in your department between people?
Yep.
Because managing processes is easy. What would you do when the autoclave doesn't work? Well, I'm going to go over there and cut it off, cut it on. I'm going to see if it's really the electricity is working. That's an easy question.
That's right.
What do you do when Mary cusses Jody out? You got to be able to talk about that. Well, I got to bring Mary and Jody into the office at the same time. I've got to find out what is the issue, what is the underlying root cause to their problem, while making them aware that this is not acceptable. What do you do when an employee is insubordinate? Well, see, a lot of younger managers, Dr. Jake, spend time being friends.
That's
It's
good.
like raising your children. It's like raising your children. I'm always the mama. I'm never the friend. I'm the mama. And I have to maintain that status in order for them to understand that I'm going to treat them as the mama.
That's right.
So when you come in and you befriend everybody and you the buddy, you can't chastise your friends.
Come on.
And so what would you do? Question, if you had a friend or a person that you knew that worked for you. And I will share, Dr. Jake, I had two people that worked for me. All of us were named Sharon. And we were friends. But this is the deal. I had a meeting with them when we started working together. And this is the meeting. I'm the boss. And from 9 to 5, that's your shift. I am Sharon Green Golden, the boss. At 5:05, I'm Sharon Green Golden, the friend. Now, what I'm telling you is that from 9 to 5, you will follow the rules and regulations. You will respect me as the leader, and you will do your job. And you will do your job a little better than everybody else because you my friend.
That's right.
And walls have ears. And so at this particular process, Dr. J, people knew we were friends. But these two young ladies would tell you, they say, we feel like you eat us up more than you eat anybody else up. I said, because you my friend and you shouldn't have to be being eaten. I don't understand why you can't do what you're told to do or asked to do. So management is more about being able to handle the human factor and human factors that are not in your department. You got to be able to talk to doctors. You got to be able to talk to the CEO.
Yep.
You got to be able to talk to the director of OR. You got to be able to talk to the PACU supervisor. You've got to be able to handle problems in other departments in the hospital. It's not just about making sure that the sterilizer worked. And that comes with what we now have, thanks to SIPS. Healthcare Solutions has its leadership program. There are now leadership programs out there that help you learn how to lead correctly, therefore helping you with management. The CHL is an HSPA product, and I am a former HSPA president. I have nothing against the actual certification. The certification itself does not really put you in management position, because in order to truly be management able, management ready, you need someone mentoring you, helping you, guiding you. And I came up the road of the rocky side of the mountain where I didn't have anybody. So I learned it through trial and error. And I will say that I'm sure that I made lots of mistakes coming up the mountain, because it took me a long time to get up. I'd fall, go up 2, fall back 4. But the bottom line is, nowadays, to anyone that's listening, there are programs out there. SIPS Healthcare Solutions has one. There are many out there. Many colleges have them, where you learn to be a leader in management. And I think that if you're trying to be a manager, you need to go take a course.
Yeah, I think there's several things that kind of come up, right? And you made a lot of valid, a lot of valid points, and it kind of intertwines with the next question, which is, how do I know I'm leader ready? And I want to address something, and I think that this is where so many people get this misconstrued. And if I hit something right on the money, you're watching this show right now, I want you to put 1 in the chat. Now, listen, hold on, not yet. Okay. Many times, SGG, we confuse acquaintances with friends. And we allow close proximity at work to stop us from elevation because of our misalignment on what friends really are. There are several people who you travel from place to place. You make friends in that moment. After a year or 2 or so, you kind of think about them, but you don't call them. You don't follow up with them. You don't remember their children's birthdays, and you don't follow up and do all those things. The truth is, if we were to just be honest, right, we got to look up one of the definitions of a friend, the fundamental difference. A friend knows what and protects that which is important to you.
Yes.
So if your reputation is important to you, if being seen as a leader, as a professional is important to you, if doing the right thing is important to you, a real friend would never put you in any positions that will make you have to make a decision on choosing friend,
yes,
or job.
Yeah.
An acquaintance will put you in situations that make you choose the wrong thing on behalf of them against the right thing that's supposed to be in have or in benefit of the hospital system, y'all career, and the patient. A real friend is open to accountability. An acquaintance wants some stuff under the table and clean it up and take care of me. I'll scratch your back, you scratch my back. So when we look at leadership at its core, leadership is the ability to officially differentiate the difference between the two. Because my friends that work with me know, right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm calling you out regardless. My friends know, if you are out of line, you will get fired and you will be out on your behind. My friends know I do not give outs. I do not give handouts. I do not give promotions. I do not give raises. I don't give all these things if it is not merited that you are better at doing the thing that you say that you want to do. So
Yes.
when we talk about leadership at its core, leadership at its core is supposed to be focused on, I shouldn't have to tell my friend
Mm.
to not cut corners on this scope. I
Yes.
should not have to tell my friend if it takes this amount of time to soak this instrument. I shouldn't have to come back. We hung out last night. Hanging out last night does not give you the authority to dismiss the proper compliant measures for cleaning these instruments so these patients are safe.
Right.
And as a leader, if you don't have the ability to truly differentiate the difference between a friend and an acquaintance, you're probably not ready to take that role. Forget the questions to prepare for. You're probably not ready for that role, because many times and oftentimes, especially when you're really good at what you do, you'll find a lot of people posing as friends that's really just acquaintances wanting to get in your good graces, to get a promotion, to take care of themselves, but not make sure that you're good. Many times and oftentimes, you'll find people that you elevate that behind the door is trying to get you to get excavated about your position for themselves. Many times you'll find people who will want to befriend you so they can take the slack off, because you know friendship matters to you, and you will overcome all of their insecurities and inadequacies for the effort of protecting my friend, for the hurt of you and the long-term longevity of your health and your career. A lot of times we misalign friendship, and that friendship a lot of times is what keeps us from being able to be elevated in the positions that we are in. That's the truth.
Yes.
So if you're not willing to draw the line against anybody, the one thing that I fell in love with you about, SGG, is when you came and you called me, and one day you said, Dr. Jake, now you know I like you. I said, all right. You said, but let me be clear. I would not go to jail, lie, steal for nobody. Okay. And you said, as long as we are good on that front, me and you will be best friends. And in my mind, I got off the phone with you. I called Donnie and I said, hey, find the budget for this lady. Okay. Find the budget. Okay. We got to figure it out. Why? Because to have someone that is so clear on boundaries to do the right thing, that's the person you want in your corner. That's the person you want as a leader. That's the person that you want that's on your flank, to your right or to your left.
Yes.
That's what leadership is. And a lot of people are scared to hold people accountable.
Yes. Say that. That's our problem.
Come on. Go. I knew I was gonna get you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Accountability. You know, you have to accept the consequences for your actions.
That's right.
And your actions alone. This ain't no group thing. What did you do?
That's right.
And what you're saying is right, Dr. Jake. Those two Sharons understood that they had to do what was right, regardless, or head chop. You know, I didn't care. Head chop. And people don't always understand that. I am accountable for what I've done.
That's right.
My last, one of my supervisors, immediate director, I said to her, Dr. Jake, I know my job. I know what I'm supposed to do. I know how I'm supposed to do it. If you let me do my job, if you support me in doing my job correctly, that covers your butt. See, I'm going to protect you, because we're always going to be doing it right over here. You don't have to fight that battle. You know that SPD is following the best practice standards. That's not a question. So you can go to any meeting, and when they stand up and ask you a question, you can give the answer, and know that if you get on the phone and say, Miss Golden, come down here, that I'm coming with the standards book with the answer, and I got your back on what is correct.
That's right.
I took the job, and the one thing I said at that point in my life, Dr. Jake, was my integrity will not be compromised. What is right is right. And if you all aren't willing to back the horse that's doing right, I'm not the person for your job. Now, if you want the one that's doing it right and you can back me for what is right, I'm the person for the job. I can come in and get it done. And so people have to understand, as you said, that everybody has to be accountable. And this is the other problem, Dr. Jake. When I hold you accountable, now you mad. When I hold you accountable, now you mad.
For something you did.
Yes. Me and we ain't talking no more. You can't look at me straight.
SCG, you know what they say? You know what they say? They done switched up. But here's the deal, SCG. Here's the best way to solve the problem of you switched up. Be the manager as a Tech 1. Be the manager you want to be as a Tech 2.
Yes.
Be the director you dream to be as a Tech 3. Be the executive that you want to be as a Tech 4. So when you're promoted, it's no shock.
Right.
Turn it on and off the switch is no shock.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the biggest thing. This is the best answer to know if you are leader ready. Could you lead your friends regardless of y'all's intimate relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Can you fire your friends if they underperform?
Mm-hmm.
Can you call JC on your friends when they're putting patients at risk?
Yes.
Because friendships shouldn't be a liability to your position.
Right.
Friendships are assets to your dreams and your goals, and they're conduits to you becoming exactly who you dream to be. So
that's right.
So
that's right. That's what, see, you say it so eloquently. I used to say to my team, we're here to do a job for a patient. That's number one. And we're going to do it right. If we can be friendly and friends while we're doing it, we just got an asset. Because now I come to work happy every day because my friend Dr. Jake is here and we're going to do this job and we're going to do it right.
That's right.
And if he does anything wrong and I call him on it, he's going to say, okay, let me get myself together and let me do it right. He's not going to challenge me as to why did you call me out? Because see, that's my friend.
And we get stuck on that. You get mad at the call out, but forget you almost killed a patient.
Yes. But listen, we had a case where we're supposed to do something called insulation checking. You all who are SPD, you understand insulation checking of instruments for laparoscopic cases. And we don't always do it right. You're supposed to check every instrument. We check every other. So they burned the patient's liver. The doctor called me to the room to show me on the screen the patient's liver was burned because there was a hole in the insulation. And when they fired, the fire jumped out the hole and burnt the patient's liver. He took the picture, take the picture, bring the packing sheet of the person that put the tray back together. And I had to wait for them to come to work, to bring them in to the office with the door shut and say, I can't have you here killing people. We can't be burning people's livers. We don't get paid enough to burn the patient's liver. And she looked at me and she was like, what do you mean? Because I always do her head moving, bobbing, whatever. I said, this is your recipe with your name on it. Here's a picture of patient 2246 with a burnt liver from the instruments you put together. So now I have written you up because this is a step 3. We ain't gonna start step 1. You killing people. This is a step 3. Has nothing to do with me liking you. I like you fine, but you're killing people. That's going to harm us. That's harming the patient. That's harming the hospital's reputation. Therefore, this is a step 3. And the next time you do it, you will be on the hill to give you the opportunity to look for a job somewhere else. We can't have you on our team. And she was like, I can't believe that you would write me up for this. I said, I can't believe you would burn a patient's liver. So now that we're on beliefs, I need you to do what's right. Insulation check every instrument. And you're not doing it. This is the proof.
Yeah.
This
And then
is
you
the
went
proof.
you went downstairs. You remember you were like, everybody, this burned a patient. And everybody was like,
It's like I'm sorry, you all. My father was a pastor. It's like Jesus at the Last Supper when he told them somebody's gonna betray me, and everybody started saying, "Is it me?
"This is me."
Is it me?" You know, I came down and said, "We done burned the patient's liver. We can't. They gonna fire all of us." You know.
Yep.
So the bottom line is, but that person felt that even though I did it behind the door, I didn't do it at that moment. I waited until to get her with this. I waited until the next day at a different time, and I met her in another office, so nobody even knew we were there.
That's right.
She felt that I singled her out, and I said, "No, that's your guilt for not doing what you're supposed to do."
That's right.
If you don't go back and tell it, nobody will know.
That's right.
Because I did this in seclusion as a leader. My boss knows we're meeting. In fact, we were meeting in the director's office. She knows we're in here. She knows why we're in here. But this is so that you have the opportunity to straighten up and fly right, or prepare your letter to leave. And this is, I'm a little different, Dr. J. I will help you write your letter of resignation. It'll be a good one, and I'm going to accept it.
You are absolutely out of this world crazy. So here's the deal. Accountability, and I'm glad that you said that because I wanted to come back around. Accountability doesn't have to be ugly.
Right.
Accountability doesn't have to be loud. Accountability doesn't have to be disrespectful. Accountability doesn't have to be on Front Street. Accountability is a direct, I'm holding you accountable, whether private doors or publicly, for you to hold yourself to the standard of the job that you said yes to.
Yes.
That's accountability. And here's the thing as a leader. The thing as a leader is this. You have to be willing to be okay with being disliked, misunderstood, hated, people mad at you, especially when you know you're doing what's right for them, the patient, the hospital, and yourself.
Mm-hmm.
People's comments about you have nothing to do with you holding them accountable to their responsibility. And if you allow for your emotions to be tied into people's inadequacies in managing their own emotions using logic to realize you're only holding them accountable to their thing. Now, here's the thing. As you said before, SGG, the leader gets shot first.
Mm-hmm.
So when you cut corners, when you didn't do what you were supposed to do, when you're the one who trained people on the shortcut,
yes,
now you're the one holding the gun. Now they're going to turn it back on you and say, but didn't you?
Yes. Yes.
And this is the hardest place to be as a leader, being the standard, even when you don't feel like it.
Right, right. And you have to maintain the standard no matter what. I understood that. Now, it took me a while, Dr. Jake. I didn't get this when I was first a team leader, probably not even when I first became a supervisor. But as I learned and went to a few little courses that were out there, I learned that I have to be able to deal with people and understand this. I come in to a new place telling my people, I'm glad to be part of the team. Now I'm a little different. I'm glad to be part of the team. And you know, I know y'all been working together about 4, 5, 6 years. Some of y'all been here 15 years together. I'm not here to make a friend. They hired me as the manager to do the job right. If we can be friends, hey, we got it going on.
We got a little something going on.
but don't base your work life on inviting me to the baby's birthday party. Don't invite me. I'm all right. You don't have to invite me to the wedding. You know, you don't have to invite me to the picnic. I got some friends away from this job who accept me for who I am. At the job, when we come in, we put on best practice standards to take care of our patients.
That's right.
That's what you signed on for.
That's right.
We didn't sign on for how many friends did you make this week. That's not our job. We're not in the friend making business. We're in the care of instrumentation for surgery business. And so understand, like a parent, I'm going to hold you accountable. Someone wrote it down. I'm going to write you up when you do things that are not right, because I need a paper trail, because memories are short. You will not remember. We talked about this 5 times already. When we go to HR, you're going to tell them, nobody ever said anything. I've been doing this for 4 years. Nobody ever told me not to. So that's why I have to write it up as a class 1, class 2, class 3, and give you a copy so that you can go back to your locker and pull it out and say, oh, yes, she talked to me about this last month. To cover myself as a manager, having done what was right. And sometimes as managers, you all don't do any documentation. You go by what you said, and you have nothing to back you up when it's time to go to HR. Nothing except what is now technically hearsay. He said, she said.
That's right.
So management is not easy. And I think people think that it is. It is not easy. And like you said, Dr. J, people will talk about you. They're going to put it out there. My last job, when I walked in and sat down, and she looked at me, I said, whatever you heard about me is true. That was my opening statement. Whatever you heard, it's true. Now, what do you want to know?
What do you want to know of the truth? That's right. That's right.
What do you want to know? Yes, I believe in writing people up. Yes, I believe in holding people accountable. Yes, I will defend my team to the wall if they're doing what's right.
That's right.
I'm going to the CEO with you.
That's right.
If we're doing it right. You know,
That's right.
I've challenged surveyors before. I'm not just going to take it sitting down. I'm coming with it, because what we do matters, and we do it well most of the time, where you don't even know what we do. And you already over here talking about them people. It's not them people. It's the people that are caring for your instruments, is what I've told doctors. And so the bottom line is, I'm going to manage to rightness.
That's right.
That's my way. I'm going to manage to rightness, and I'm going to manage with as much as possible compassion, empathy, because God knows I love my team. I loved my team. There wasn't anything I wouldn't do for the team. But when they did wrong, they knew they had the rope around them. I was going to pull the knot and yank them in. Yep. I was not going to accept them doing a half job when we sat there and said we understood the goals of this institution, the mission of the institution, and the purpose of the job. That's right.
So to end the show, we typically end the show with something that we can leave you all with. And so SGG, this is your spotlight moment. What is one thing that you could leave future leaders, current leaders that are wondering if leadership is for them? What's the one thing that you could leave them with into this week's show?
Okay, so this is what I want to tell you, and I kind of wrote it down a little bit. Seek opportunities always to lead, and be willing to take on new responsibilities. Take the initiative to volunteer as you accept those new responsibilities. Collaborate, build relationships with other people other than Mary Jo, your table mate. Collaborate with other people. Learn to collaborate, especially in this field. When you're sent to the OR, make friends there. Not friends to be going out and drinking with, but make friends that they know who you are. Let them know that you're willing to help them put the tray together. You're willing to help them find instruments that are missing. Find yourself a mentor. I didn't always have that opportunity when I was coming up. But find someone who's already doing what you would like to do, and ask them to mentor you, to help you navigate the road to leadership. Make your present manager your advocate. Let your present manager know what it is you're seeking. I would like to be a leader here one day. And I'm taking some courses at the community college. I'm going to go get my certification as a CHL. Whatever it is you're going to do, share that information with your present manager so that they know where they're going to help lead you. And they can help motivate and stimulate you to become better. Lastly, SPD Nation, cultivate a professional demeanor. You've got to learn to be professional. Everybody's not from the hood, but I was told by one of my people one time, you can take the girl out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the girl. I said, well, you better figure out how to get the hood out of you if you ever want to lead the troops. You must cultivate a professional demeanor. Leaders walk the walk. You have to be able to talk the talk as a leader. You have to be willing to accept the responsibilities of your team. Those are my thoughts for this week. It's been great being with you.
Man, I just love hearing your isms. My last moment or last thought is become today who you see yourself tomorrow to be. And what I mean by that is, if you imagine yourself to be an executive in the boardroom, having these conversations, advocating for your departments that you're running, that you're leading, that you're managing, what character would that person need to have? Who would that person need to be? How would that person need to be able to communicate with different people from various backgrounds, diversities in religious beliefs? What type of standard would that person need to operate on? And what murmurs about that person would the entire hospital system be communicating without you being there? Now, once you engineer that, re-engineer it, and ask yourself, am I that person yet? If the answer is no, get back to the drawing board. Many of us that were in sterile processing, many of you that are in sterile processing, when you got certified, you had to go and get your clinical hours and do your CEs in order to keep your certification above board. As a leader that you aspire to be, what clinical hours are you putting in for leadership? When you were getting your clinical hours, many of you that got certified, especially post it being a requirement in a lot of states, you had to get your clinical hours before you actually got paid. Well, as a leader, have that same mentality. Let me get my clinical hours in. Let me volunteer. Let me do more. Let me give more. Let me master more before I ask for said roles and responsibilities. And then continue to have this litmus test. Who I believe I am going to be, am I that person today? If it is not, get back to work. Whoever I dream to be, respected as, is that what's being received or seen today? If it's not, get back to the drawing board and get to work. What's going to happen is you're going to eventually start looking more in the mirror than out the window to judge. Because every day you'll be looking at, how can I get myself that much closer to becoming who I dream to be? And when you meet that person in the mirror who you dreamt to be, and they're looking back at you, everything you imagined for your life to be, the income that you want to make, the respect and notoriety you want to have, will be exactly where it's supposed to be, and the person that you're supposed to become before you actually become it. So be that person. Start today. Everything changes the moment you make a decision to change. Any habit can be broken the moment that you decide that you want to change it. And then allow for time to clean the old image of who people knew you to be. Don't expect them to just wake up tomorrow and just expect or trust this new person. Allow for a time of them seeing your change to be what washes them over and wins them over to who you're dreaming and working to become. Y'all, this is SPD911, and we cannot wait to see you next week, and we're so happy for season 2. Peace. We love you. There's nothing you can do about it.
SPD911 isn't just a show, it's your emergency response team for sterile processing. Having a diverse organization, people make the mistake in trying to make everyone the same.
SPD911, we stand
Yeah, you're asking for a pay raise every year.
Heard the stories, seen the tears, raw and real, we face the fight, supporting each other, night and daylight.